Hey everybody. Today I want to talk about breathing and chemistry. And by chemistry I mean what's happening in your blood that is affected by how we breathe. And specifically when we breathe fast, when we breathe more than normal, and this is called hyperventilation. And I know hyperventilation can have a really negative connotation. We think of panic attacks and anxiety, but hyperventilation really just means breathing more than normal. Hyper just means more, and ventilation means breathing. So it's breathing more than normal. And in yoga practice, the most common hyperventilating practice that we do is called Kapalabhati, which means shining skull, or we just call it blowing, and it looks like this. Or if you do it through your nose, it looks the same in the rest of the body, but just not through the mouth. So you'll notice that I am breathing out and in a lot faster than I do in a normal situation, like when I'm just sitting around, or if I were just relaxedly sitting like this. I would be generally breathing very slowly. But in Kapalabhati, or any fast breathing exercise, we bring a lot of air in and out, a lot of air in and out, in and out. And what this does on a chemical level, the chemistry of our blood, is that it pulls the carbon dioxide out of our blood. Okay, so, and I guess on the flip side of that is, it's commonly thought that this somehow oxygenates the blood, which it does not do. Our blood generally, of a healthy person, is fully oxygenated. So no amount of breathing faster is going to, what you would like quote, oxygenate the blood. That doesn't really happen. But what does happen is we decrease the amount of carbon dioxide in the blood when we hyperventilate. And this makes the blood alkaline, okay? And when you make the blood alkaline, a handful of things happen that you really notice in your body. The first of which is that your peripheral nervous system gets hyperstimulated or hypersensitive. And so that's like in your fingers and in your skin, especially in your face. And so this is why when you do Kapalabhati, or if you breathe, if you hyperventilate for a while, you will get tingly fingers and tingly face. The other thing that hyperventilation does is it constricts the blood vessels, especially in your cardiac system and in your brain, and it prevents oxygen from going into the tissues. And so you get lightheaded because your brain is literally not getting the oxygen that it wants. And so when you're doing Kapalabhati, when you feel lightheaded, this is simply a result of hyperventilation. Now, there's no need to panic or worry about not getting enough oxygen to your brain. If it ever gets to a level that you are doing damage or something, your body will just make you pass out. That's what, why people will black out or something if they are hyperventilating or having a panic attack. So that's one end of the spectrum. And what this can do, the reason why this can be useful to us as yogis is that it makes us aware of these chemical shifts and the power that we have in our breath. And so when we breathe more than normal, we get tingly and we get lightheaded. And ultimately, the goal in yogic breathing practice is actually to swing all the way back in the other direction and go into hypoventilation, which is breathing less than normal. Okay, and when you breathe less than normal, all the opposite effects happen, which is that carbon dioxide builds up in your blood becomes acidic, and then you get things like your peripheral nervous system, your nerves will generally, maybe numb is the wrong word, but they will desensitize, so you become less physically aware, and then your blood vessels all around your body, especially in your brain and in your heart and lungs, they will dilate. Okay, and oxygen goes into the tissues. Okay, so that's eventually where we want to be as yogis. But to practice these things, to go from hyperventilation, breathing tons, swing it over to hypoventilation, which is breathing less than normal, and trying to breathe as little as possible. This is a yogic practice that is really, really powerful and really useful to us. And so, next time you do Kapalabhati, which is hyperventilation, follow that with a period of hypoventilation, which is breathing less than normal or holding your breath. Okay, so if you do it at the end of class, perhaps the teacher will let you sit for a few minutes and not breathe to balance out the practice. Okay, so let's do that a couple times here. Let's do it a couple times in a row. We'll do Kapalabhati, we'll do it for a minute, and then we will stop breathing, and I'll just do it in minute segments, and we'll do 3 rounds of it, and you will notice that by the third time, by our third round, you can probably hold your breath for that minute with almost no trouble. Okay. So here we go. Kapalabhati. Begin. Ten, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Take a nice relaxed breath and then hold your breath. If you feel tingly or lightheaded, that's a sign that you don't need to breathe. We're at 30 seconds. That's enough. If you were still holding your breath, you can relax and breathe normally. Take a few breaths, let the body calm down and come back to equilibrium. And then we'll do it again. Hyperventilation and then hypoventilation. Here we go. Kapalabhati, second set. 1. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Take a nice relaxed breath. And then hold your breath. More than halfway. And that's enough. That was 1 minute. So relax, breathe normally. You could probably hold your breath longer that time. So let's do one more set. Just like that. Kapalabhati. Begin. Ten, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Take a calm breath and then hold your breath. More than halfway. That's a minute. So breathe normally, relax, let the body return to equilibrium. So that is how we swing from hyperventilation, which makes the blood alkaline, to hypoventilation, which makes the blood acidic. And we want to practice both of these to teach the body how to handle both chemical situations and eventually to breathe less and less and less and less.